This is Trend Following Radio, where great thinking comes alive. Nobel Prize winners, legendary traders, best-selling authors, and the pros that know what drive us irrational human beings. I am your host, Michael Covel. Not filtered, raw, honest. That's my passion. Maybe it's a function of getting older, or maybe just not caring, or realizing the cards have been dealt, and that's just the way it is. That's today. The chaos, the insanity, the 24/7 news coverage, everybody with a social media account, everybody trying to influence, everyone trying to say their voice, give their opinion. It's a cacophony of just nonstop. What are you supposed to do with that? I mean, there's a simple concept called an opportunity cost. So if all of that stuff is ringing in your ear, how are you supposed to do something on the other side of the equation? How are you supposed to achieve? How are you supposed to make something, build something, or do anything? It's pretty tough if you got something buzzing in your ear nonstop. Now, look, I plead guilty. I do check in generally every day for a few minutes to see what's going on, to see what manufactured story or chaos is all the rage. But I don't live on Twitter or anything like that. If I did, what could I do about it? I generally like to take a thought that I have, something that I feel is interesting, and share it. And I generally don't pick things to share that really have an other side. Meaning they're things to share that are generally truths. I don't want to be somebody who just offers opinions with no foundation, no background, no backdrop, no there. There's plenty of that kind of stuff. Who cares? But if I was to look at the first 6 months of 2020, the question that I would have for friends, family, associates, listeners to this podcast, if you have a job, or if you lost your job, or if you're trying to get a job, why the job? I'm sure a lot of smart people looked at 2007, 8, 9 and said, wow, I really can't believe in big companies anymore to be there for me. But of course, the stock market took off. The first couple years of the Trump presidency, extremely low unemployment by whatever measures they use in the bowels of basements in Washington, D.C. Then Corona hits. Then riots hit. Stock market goes to all-time highs and we still have crazy unemployment. What can anyone make out of this? Back to my point, to the word job. The word job is a 4-letter word. A job is very similar to an indentured servitude. Sure, they might pay you a lot or they might pay you a little. But either way, there's very little freedom. You're there for someone else. You're not really doing what you want to do. Now, here's the tricky part. Where does the training even come into play that people can understand to go through life without a job is an option? The entire schooling system, kindergarten through grade 12 into college, is all about prepping people to get a job. A job. There's a magical job tree out there just ready to come and save you. Do you really believe that anymore? Look at 2020. How can you believe anything? The only thing that makes a damn bit of sense to believe in now, after watching 2020, is yourself. Because if you're alive, you can get up and hustle. You can make something happen. Now, you might not know how to do that. You might be scared to do that. You might have every excuse in the world not to do that. But it still doesn't make it true. What's true is if you're alive, you've got a chance. In my opinion, what social media has done, and this is at the root of the American chaos unfolding, is social media has created a situation where everyone gets to see what everyone is doing at any moment in time. What does that do? It creates jealousy and envy that are unbelievable. Because if you're 18 and you're a fucking idiot and you've been in jail already and you're high on drugs, but you've got a $1,000 smartphone and you see somebody else, somebody who's 30 or 40 years older, and they're driving a nice car or they just walked out of a nice store, you deserve to have what they have right now. Like, that's the mentality that's bringing America apart. That's the reason, ultimately, why. You've only got yourself. And if you only got yourself, you got to educate yourself. Because the educational systems that you've been brought up to believe are useful, what are they doing? They're just prepping you for the job. The job that you might take and work there for 5 years. And then all of a sudden, the unemployment rate's 20% and your job is gone. You've got to make a decision what you want in life. Because if you believe in yourself and you learn how to struggle and you learn how to take losses, you can be there to play another day. But if you bet everything on somebody taking care of you, and then they don't take care of you, and then you have a social media mob to tell you that you were right when you were let go, this just creates a blame culture at every level of culture. And all those things that we heard about from our grandparents about personal responsibility, being tough, that doesn't matter. Around the world, if people look at the images of America, it's mob rules. If you raise your hand to ask a question, you might get your hand cut off. Now, this is the country that has held itself out, my country, that has held itself out as this bright light, this beacon of hope. Now, maybe some people look at the images from America and they think, well, that's not really true. Those images aren't really true. They're rare. No, America's pretty damn divided. And those images are real. And our inner cities are an absolute mess. A disaster. But I would argue that the suburbs are a disaster too. Because the suburbs are filled with people that just want to blame as well. Maybe the problem is Americans think they will live forever. So we will take 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 or 25 years of our life to waste time blaming others. And then we will just stay magically young forever. You see, this is the trick, right? If you spend a lot of time blaming somebody else, you are not spending time reading a book. You're not spending time learning anything. Again, I think this all ties into the mentality that people have been told for so long. If you go to school and you memorize this shit that these teachers, who we really don't know who the hell they are, they've just got jobs and union benefits and pensions. But if you just memorize the stuff they tell you, someone will be there to take care of you, to give you a salary, to tuck you in at night. And if the markets go wrong, the Fed will be there to save you too. See, I tend to think that the people that don't think like that listen to this podcast. They buy my books. I'm not going to say that we are worrywarts or anything like that. And I'm not going to say we're preppers, but we are prepared mentally for things to go wrong. We don't trust that the system will take care of us. We've seen something. All of us have seen something. Those people like us that see the other side of not having a job. We know there's a built-in bomb inside the idea of a job that could go off at any time. Like a landmine. A job is like a landmine. You take that job and you just walk around for years and years and it's great. And one day, the landmine goes off. Now, some people could come back and criticize me and say this message so far in this podcast is political. I don't really see it as political unless one considers the debate between personal responsibility and blame politics. I guess if somebody wants to frame it that way, they can. But what I love about the guests that I bring on this show, what I love about putting in my books is a mentality and a solution to get you outside of this damn system, this broken system. And if you can get outside the system and you can find a way to make something happen, to excel, to achieve, and to get that sense of personal satisfaction, man, it's easy to go to bed at night. It's easy to wake up each day. You feel good. You feel like, damn, I'm going to go exercise my rear end off today. It's all tied together. The social media explosion, the belief of a job, the understanding of personal responsibility, the understanding of blame, and speculation. Don't forget speculation. The root of all of my books. Trend following is a technique, but trend following is a form of speculation. It's understanding about edge. It's understanding about risk. It's saying that in the face of societal shitstorms, you as a speculator have a chance. If you believe you're a speculator, if you think you're sitting there at the table playing the game and not just thinking about, oh my gosh, I have to get the next salary, but if you're truly at the table realizing that speculation is not consistency, it's lumpy returns. Regardless if you're a trend following trader or a business owner, etc., etc. And if you can wrap your arms around lumpy returns, you can get excited about lumpy returns, and you can enjoy yourself every damn day while you work towards something that you believe in, that excites you, that gives you passion and energy, not some freaking boss or some company that doesn't give a shit about you. Do you really think any of the companies or any of the government institutions around the world care 2 cents about you? No, they don't. Well, Mike, that's just your opinion. What are you talking about? Look how easily people get laid off. Boom, gone. Life's destroyed. This stuff starts early. It starts really early. And then parents infect their kids. Parents that go through this job thinking pass that shit on to their kids. And then their kids repeat the same shit. As Americans, especially, and I could be wrong, maybe this applies to the whole world, everybody just wants to look good before they've done the work, before they've achieved anything. Just let me look good. I want to look good. It could be all fake, and of course, go to a scan of social media, and most of what you see on social media is fake. But I think a lot of people that follow social media nonstop, they think it's real. The fakeness becomes real to them. And then one day they wake up because they had a job and the job is gone and they don't know what the hell to do. Now they don't have the money to keep playing the pretend game of life they were playing. It's all really fucked up. Sometimes you have to wonder, was the human being, us, are we built for social media? I feel very comfortable with it. I can use it for what I want. I can get a message across. I don't really care what anyone else is doing. If someone posts a picture in front of their new Ferrari, that causes me zero feeling. Nothing. If someone posts a picture of their new $50 million house hanging off a cliff off some beach, more power to them. I don't think anything. I don't think bad or good. Maybe in the back of my mind, I say congratulations, but it doesn't cause me any pain because every day I wake up to work on what I work on, and that's it. That gives me a sense of fulfillment, a sense of joy. I love that. I wake up every day excited, and I find a way, yes, like you, like everyone, we have to pay the bills and all that kind of fun stuff. But when you can get outside the system, when you can get outside of the job mentality, there is a wonderful, wonderful place that you can live your life. Because damn it, personal responsibility is fun. Personal responsibility is fulfilling. It makes you happy. It gives you a sense of achievement, a sense of belonging. Blame makes you angry, bitter. It turns you into maybe a Mad Max character from the original Mad Max. You remember those creeps that Mel Gibson was fighting in that, what was it, late 70s, early 80s? That seems to be what's going on when I flip on the videos on the news these days. People that none of us would have to our house. Destroying, ripping apart. Their cause is immaterial. Because as a society, if we are going to air our grievances, if we are going to disagree in its destruction, what's next? Revolution? The moment we lose civility, the moment morality does not matter, it's kind of a broken country or a broken society or a broken culture. Imagine a line, personal responsibility on one side and blame on the other. You got to make a choice. Because if you choose personal responsibility, there is so much you can achieve, so much you can do, so many people willing to help you. If you choose blame, you're just saying you want to fight. And if you spend a lot of time fighting, you can't do the other side of the equation, the personal responsibility. The opportunity cost bites you. If you do X, you can't do Y. This thinking I described today, this is really the trend-following thinking at its ground level. It's a personal responsibility psychology. It's understanding thyself. Because once you understand yourself, you cannot be fucking defeated. I see a time when those awake will understand how to make money in up, down, and surprise markets. Whether new trader or experienced, college student or financial advisor, protecting against a crash or just trying to make a lot of money, trend following offers everyone an answer in uncertain times. To get started immediately, send me an email, michael@covel.com. I will send you the right trend following steps to take along with my free video. But if you want to buy and hold, trust the government and trust Wall Street, this is absolutely not for you.